Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, GAMA's Q1 2024 sales report brings mixed blessings. Direct Fly delivers 200th ALTO LSA. UK Spitfire crash grounds Battle of Britain fleet. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. GAMA's Q1 2024 sales report brings mixed blessings. GAMA released their Q1 2024 GA aircraft shipment and billing report with mostly mixed news. The results for the first 3 months of 2024 when compared to the same period in 2023 show deliveries were flat for piston airplanes and piston helicopters, decreased for turboprops and turbine helicopters, and increased for business jets. Total aircraft billings were up 3.2% at $4.7 billion. Aircraft shipments through the first quarter of 2024 when compared to the same period in 2023 showed piston airplane deliveries were flat with 292 units compared to 290 units last year. Turboprop deliveries decreased 7.7% with 108 units, and business jet deliveries increased 8.5% with 127 units. Helicopter shipments through the first quarter of 2024 when compared to the same period in 2023 showed piston helicopter deliveries were flat with 53 units compared to last year's 56, and turbine helicopter deliveries decreased 14.4% with 131 units. GAMA notes that, quote, while the first 3 months of the year produced a mixed report, the health of the industry remains solid with robust order backlog strong across all segments. Our industry continues to be challenged by significant supply chain issues across the board that range from raw materials through forgings and castings to basic parts availability, end quote. After the break, hangar company fires and sues NATA CEO.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
I grew up in an aviation family. My dad flew airplanes and flew air shows actually, so ever since I was 3 years old, the only thing I've ever wanted to do was be an air show pilot. It's cliche, but I get to live my dream every single day. I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, the new aerobatic propeller. It's increased the performance of the airplane. It's made the harmonics balance throughout the airplane so much better. By far the best aerobatic propeller that I've ever flown behind.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Hangar company fires and sues NATA CEO. The Aeroplex and Aero-Lease group has fired their CEO and begun a highly visible, contentious legal duel in the public eye. The outgoing CEO is a somewhat notable industry face, Kurt Castagna, who led Aeroplex as CEO of its expansive hangar and office leasing operations. Castagna is involved in a good deal of industry advocacy too, working with the local Long Beach Airport Association, Van Nuys Airport Association, and National Air Transportation Associations. Castagna wears many hats, being the president and CEO of NATA and a co-chair in the Eagle Initiative. Down to the wire. WestJet Encore strike averted. Captain Karen Kenny, chair of the WestJet Encore Master Executive Council, has confirmed a last-minute full tentative agreement with management. This agreement ends the possibility of an impending June 1st strike. Captain Kenny noted that, quote, after our pilots rejected the tentative agreement presented to them last month, citing the WestJet group's failure to address issues of central importance to the pilot group, we are very pleased to announce we have reached a new tentative agreement with management which addresses those issues, end quote. Drone bill HR 8416 would inflate drone prices by more than 50%. The drone industry has raised its hackles regarding the Drones for First Responders Act introduced by Congressperson Elise Stefanik, describing it as a boon to the EMS, fire, and police crowd at the expense of the recreational and commercial drone industries. Vic Moss of the droning company said, quote, while on the surface this bill makes a lot of sense and I believe the industry is on board with what the Congresswoman is trying to do for first responders, in addition to farmers and ranchers, as well as those who work with critical infrastructure, that is where our support ends, end quote. U.S. Navy returns jet trainer to service. The U.S. Navy's T-45C Goshawk trainer is back in action after a one-month operational pause to assess an in-flight engine mishap. The Navy's T-45C fleet can now return to duty since a probe involving the Naval Air Systems Command and Naval Undergraduate Flight Training Systems Program Office showed evidence of a parts failure and not an issue with the fleet at large. Oddly enough, the pause wasn't the first one for the Goshawk, with another performed in 2022 for nearly the same issue. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Direct Fly delivers 200th ALTO LSA. Czech sportplane manufacturer Direct Fly has finished delivering its 200th ALTO NG, the latest iteration of their 600-kilogram sportplane. The ALTO was previously offered as the ALTO 912 TG model, sporting some light tweaks and changes for improved stiffness and durability. One such modification added additional engine space up front, shifting the weight a tad to prevent the TG's habit of tail standing when disembarking. The newer ones also make use of the 15 kg baggage compartment with improved engine performance, intake, and cooling. Improvements to riveting points, welds, and fixtures help to streamline the build for those who complete their own sportplane too. The ALTO NG uses a Rotax 912 ULS and Galaxy GRS rescue system, with seating for 2 abreast and enough legs for a respectable cross-country cruiser. Overall, the ALTO NG is a pretty familiar collection of ingredients, offering buyers a simple, low-wing, tricycle-geared 2-seater with a solid blend of aerodynamic and robust design to allow its construction from a quick build or standard build-it-yourself kit. For the impatient, Direct Fly is happy to offer it in a fully built, ready-to-fly spec too, with many of the niceties already installed, like electric flaps, electric trim, and hydraulic brakes with a panel to order. And after these messages, UK Spitfire crash grounds Battle of Britain fleet.
For over 30 years, the massive Sportplane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sportplane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
Welcome back. UK Spitfire crash grounds Battle of Britain fleet. A tragic crash involving a Royal Air Force Spitfire has led to the grounding of the fleet. The accident took place on May 25th during an early afternoon flight using a Battle of Britain Memorial flight aircraft. So far, not much has been released regarding the accident, which involved only the single aircraft and ended in a field near Coningsby. Investigations are underway to figure out the cause. Friends and retired personnel of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight have nothing but praise for the outfit in everything from the standards of its inductees to the tip-top shape of its heritage aircraft. As proof of those high standards, some point to the fact that the recent incident is the first fatality involving one of the flight's aircraft since the unit was created in July 1957. The crash claimed one life, that of the pilot in command, Squadron Leader Mark Long. He was a Typhoon pilot with the RAF before getting a slot with the Memorial Flight, where he's been flying the last 4 years. Prior to the incident, the BBMF had 6 original Spitfires left, which fly alongside a dozen airworthy Hurricanes. The unit is staffed as a regular RAF unit, funded by the UK's Ministry of Defence. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.